Welcome back to the Shacknews Awards. This awards train is just rolling on the tracks, and this is a very Shacknews specific award that we've really enjoyed doing during the Nintendo Switch era. It's called the game that should be on Switch, the game that should be on Nintendo Switch award. Uh, we're getting really good at predicting this, guys. I feel like every year we say something, and then the next year it's out. Last year it was Pizza Tower, and I think, right? And Pizza Tower ended
Yeah,
up
Pizza
releasing
Tower
on
was
Switch.
definitely the game.
Yep.
We accurately predicted Rocket League coming to Switch. Like we've done this several times at this point. So let's get through the nominees and we'll talk about them, and then we'll vote. We'll move on with our lives. First nominee, Pokemon, the trading card game, Pocket, which is on iOS and Android right now. EA Sports College Football 25. We've gone a whole console generation. Okay, I guess 2 whole console generations on Nintendo without a football game from EA. That's messed up. But the Frostbite engine just does not play well with Nintendo Switch. Rivals of Aether 2. The Smash clone. Pacific Drive. The indie darling about driving through a hellish northwestern America. Tekken 8. Continuing the trend of just we want fighting games on Switch. And last but not least, Visions of Mana, which is just a delightful RPG in a year full of delightful RPGs. Not to mention, like, Switch has been home to RPGs this generation. Like, we had some bangers that came out first on Switch, like Octopath Traveler, or even the first party stuff like Fire Emblem Three Houses and stuff. There's just been a lot of great RPGs on the system. So yeah, let's get started. Donovan, I don't think Pocket would be good on Switch. I'm just to throw it out there. I don't like this idea.
Yeah, it would need some tinkering. Also, I mean, I guess if you use your Switch like an iPad and held it vertically would be your best bet, but I don't even know too many games, especially first party, that do that. I think more so than anything, I feel like just the Pokemon TCG needs a better presence on Switch.
Yeah.
In general,
But maybe
they have,
maybe not Pocket. Like maybe give it its own thing, or maybe something that even something that relates to the physical cards more.
Yeah.
But
Pokemon TCG Live on Switch, because that could be something. Yeah, like the full game.
But yeah, I'm gonna say it. I don't want Pocket on Switch because I barely want Pocket on my phone. Like I play it once a day when I can open my pack, and then I'm on with my life. But EA Sports College Football 25, man, I want this on Switch. That would be great.
That'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun.
Because then you're talking about that second screen experience, Diamond, where you're watching football while playing football on the Switch. I would be about that life. I would probably be more willing to deal with the bullshit of picking up prospects and having to recruit, all the menu Olympics that game becomes. I think that would be perfect in a handheld. And I understand that it's graphic fidelity, all these things make that a challenge. But man, EA left so much money on the table this generation by not putting these games out on Switch. Like, it's kind of crazy.
I would not be surprised if these games start to show up on the Switch 2. I could see a world where the Switch 2 trailer, there's a 2-second shot of a guy playing college football like on a bus.
What I think's odd is that Doug Bowser, president of Nintendo of America, he comes from EA. And you would think that he would have been able to like smooth over some of those relationships, but I don't know how many people are still left at EA from his time there even. But it is like one of the third-party relationships that Nintendo has that is not going as well as it could. Like, yeah, you got My Sims. Yeah, you get what was it, Football Club? Is that what they call FIFA now?
Yeah, EA Sports FC. Yeah.
So you get FC on Switch, and it's a nerfed version of FC. You get 2K, right? 2K games are on Switch. They're not as robust either. but like even the Wii had a version of Madden.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like it's been like almost 20 years since EA like really took a Nintendo system seriously when it came to sports. And like you think back to the SNES era, David, like Madden was best on SNES back then. So it's weird to see how far that relationship is kind of unwound. But yeah, next up is Rivals of Aether 2. This is that. I mean, it's a sequel to probably. I don't know. I really like Brawlhalla as well, but Rivals is one of the best Smash clones out there.
People
This is
really like Rivals too. That game has gotten some damn good buzz out of the gate. It is one of the situations where like a lot of these platform fighters that get buzz conveniently never make their way to the Switch. But
yeah.
I think this is one that people would like to have on the go. I mean, it's already making a killing on Steam Deck. I've seen people post about playing it there. It would be right at home on the Switch, but
I don't think
totally
we
get it
ever
for
saw
play.
Multiverses release on Switch either.
No, that was another one. Yeah, rare. Again,
Um,
conveniently, I don't know why no, no platform fighters come to come to Switch.
oh, that's not true because Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 1 and 2 both released on Switch,
Did they? Okay, there you go.
but they were bad.
Still
Yeah.
couldn't save
So
them.
I don't know who is. I don't know why these decisions are being made. Like if there's some sort of anti-Nintendo vibe at the devs or something, but like
I mean, do you
it's
think it could be
certainly
the
a
other way
choice.
around? Do you think that
Oh,
Nintendo would ever not want a good, popular, other like developers platform fighter on there?
sure, in 2018, I think so, Donovan. But now,
Hmm.
no one gives a fuck about Smash Ultimate. Like
Right.
they already sold like it's the best selling fighting game of all time, right? Like I know it's not like a
Probably,
traditional
yeah.
fighting game, but it's like sold over 30 million units or something. Like I don't think Nintendo's like, oh, this is gonna cannibalize our sales or something. Like
No.
maybe pre Sora DLC that would have been a way to think, but now it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure what side like why it is this way right now, but
Mhm.
um I think it would be dumb for a publisher to not want to put a game out on a system that there's platform fighter fans there,
Yeah.
and there's a
I mean, the Rivals 2 publisher, we know they all come from the Smash lineage, right? Like,
yeah.
I doubt that any of them have a vendetta against putting their game on a Switch. I don't know. It could be a tech thing as well. That'd be interesting to
Not so
find out.
fast jumping to conclusions like that though, Donovan, because the Smash scene and Nintendo have a very complicated relationship. Uh, and off-brand
Right.
game, off-brand games though. You're right. Ludwig has done a
Yeah, I
lot of
mean, he
stuff
still
for the
hosts like
Smash. Yeah,
Smash, like Melee tournaments and stuff. I don't know. I'd be
yeah.
surprised if he was like, "Yeah, no, fuck Nintendo." I don't know.
I don't
I'm
think it
sure
was
there's a story to
that.
be told.
Yeah, I think there's a decision that was made though, and I think it's
Mhm.
also this game was out in early access for a little bit, and I think
Yeah,
Nintendo still doesn't really have an early access mechanic. Like Microsoft has
for
game
sure.
preview. There's no real equivalent of early access for Switch right now. It's just demos.
Yeah,
But anyway, yeah, I agree. It should be out. It should be on Switch. Um, but like I have no problem playing Rivals on PC if I have to.
yeah.
Um, this next one though, yes, Pacific Drive has to come out on Switch eventually. I hope it does. TJ, you reviewed this what feels like 9,000 years ago.
Yeah.
But it was actually this year. Why would this be such a good Switch game, do you think?
It's a really it's kind of a chill experience at certain points, right? Because like the whole point of the game is you take this car into what essentially could be considered like a Stalker 2-esque environment full of just like broken down everything and weird environmental anomalies running about causing ruckus. And I don't know, I feel like that would be a really chill kind of experience to have on a Switch where you could just load up the game, drive through a section, do your exploring, and then put it away and come back later. And there's not a lot of chaos in this game either, because like the anomalies are not, for the most part, actively hostile towards you. So I don't think that you would have a lot of issue with like chaos in this game. I think that you could pare it down easily to like what would work on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a big section of this that is just like one side of it is just exploring, and the other side of it is taking your car back to the shop and just working on it for a while, repairing it, replacing parts, and all that stuff. And I think those are both things that could be really fun in a portable format.
Yeah. And also, we've just seen this era for Switch. Indie games sell well on Switch. They have this whole time. Balatron most recently is like an indie darling on Switch. And Nintendo actually shows love to indies. Like they have, it's not just part of Nintendo Directs. Like they have a dedicated indie branded, video presentation that they do, and like a whole marketing team around indies. That's one of those where it's like, yeah, that needs to happen. Maybe that's a Switch 2 one too. Tekken 8 though, that would be awesome. I don't think it could. After seeing how poorly MK1 runs on Switch,
this definitely feels like it would be the tallest order of all of these games if you were going to try to port it over.
This is wishful thinking that Tekken 8
That's what this award is about, right? Like,
yeah,
technical restrictions don't matter. This is what we want, right?
This is what we want. It's a game that's out, that's not on Switch, that we want to be out on Switch. That's all it is. And this it didn't have to be, necessarily released this year, but if it's like an ongoing game, sometimes those get nominated here. But this year we have, 6 games that are all very different. This is which speaks to the Switch. Like the Switch, Wii was easily defined by Waggle. You can't define the Switch by a type of game. It's a video game device for everyone, every kind of game. Casual, hardcore, online, offline, single player, multiplayer, couch co-op, whatever, right? I think that was the revelation that Nintendo, I think, got. They almost went too far chasing after the blue ocean, and they corrected during this generation. They're like, what people really want, I think Sony's kind of realizing this too, they want to be able to play all kinds of games on your device, not just a certain type. And I think Nintendo and Sony have kind of fallen into that trap over the years. But yeah, last but not least, Visions of Mana. And I do see the honorable mention for Isles of Sea and Sky, Sam. I completely agree that game would do very well on Switch. It is a retro-ass looking puzzle game.
Yeah, it's like Baba's You. Got to be on Switch.
Yeah. Yep. Puzzle games have been great on Switch. This is not graphically intensive. It makes a lot of sense. It's a small studio though, so I'm sure they had to put their chips where they could. But yeah, Don, you talked about Visions of Mana in another category, but
yeah,
it's pretty.
This is one of those games where like there's always a couple that make this category just sheerly off the basis that when I Google them, I expected they were already on Switch. Like Visions of Mana, a new AAA Square Enix RPG, just felt like it should have already been on Switch. So this is one that I hope they're able to get on there. It's a great kind of jump in, jump out RPG adventure. It's got a great story, great mechanics. Again, talked about those in another category, but I mean, Square Enix has plenty of games on Switch. Dragon Quest XI, when they did the S version, that got ported to Switch and plays very well on that system. I would love to see Visions of Mana come there. It feels like it should be on Nintendo.
It was earlier this year on like a earnings call or like some earnings release that Square said like this whole it was around the launch of FF7 Rebirth. They're like this whole platform exclusivity thing is not working for us.
Yeah.
FF7 Rebirth kind of underperformed their internal expectations because of its exclusivity. And they didn't necessarily come out and just say it that, hey, we're going to release these games on Switch or Switch 2, but they kind of implied it because it's not like, no offense to Xbox Series X, but like, that's not what they're talking about. It's not, oh, we missed out on that. It's PC and Switch, which are two massive markets that they miss when they don't simultaneously ship these games. I think that's going to be the change that we see from them maybe next year, but definitely into 26. So yeah, Visions of Mana, like it might be one of the last ones that we see like this, because hopefully we start seeing simultaneous releases of these RPGs, because the Switch has just been full of re-releases of RPGs, like crazy amounts. But yeah, awesome. I think we should vote. What do you guys think?
Let's do it.
Okay. Let's start. I'm gonna start with Bill.
I would like Pacific Drive, please.
Mm-hmm. Coming right up. Sam.
Pacific Drive. Thank you very much.
David.
Damn it all! I want Tekken 8 on Switch.
That would be sweet.
Yeah.
Donovan.
Pacific Drive.
Wow. TJ.
I'm gonna give Visions of Mana some love because I want to play that game, but I don't know that I want to play it on PC or PlayStation.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, did I screw up? I did. No, I didn't. I think I skipped Denny and Greg.
You did, but you can go to them now.
Yeah, I know. My bad. My spreadsheet is confusing. Denny.
Well, I'm a bit conflicted because your argument about football and football
Mm-hmm.
is winning me over a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, the strat I would actually use, I think, is pretty strong.
Mm.
But I'm also scared of what EA would do, that kind of power on Switch.
Yeah.
I'm going to lean into Pacific Drive. It's actually a game I would play on Switch as well.
Yeah, I think it would. I think that game would fit on Switch very well. Greg.
Visions of Mana.
You were so still that I thought your camera might have frozen.
It's deep thought.
He was so entranced in thought there that I was like, is he frozen? And I was like, no.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there. Okay, let me get the absentee votes in here. We got Ozzy voted for, should surprise no one. He voted for Pacific Drive. And Steve, of the Steve Tendo Show, unfortunately voted for Pokemon TCG Pocket.
Unfortunately voted.
I mean, like, it's just not, I don't know. Yeah. My vote doesn't matter, you guys. Pacific, I want to say Pacific Drive is one, right? Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to say EA Sports College Football, because I really want that game to be on Switch. I just want football on Switch. Badly. And, like, I think it's a stupid business move to not release a football game on Switch for 8 years. Like, there's 140 some million Switches out there. People will buy a football game if you make one. Yeah. So it's like, I understand that, like, you have to work on porting it, and maybe it has to be built in a completely different engine. And this might not have been the year to do that because you were relaunching EA Sports College Football. But, like, next year on the new Switch,
yeah, that's gotta be
like, if
point
they
emphasis right there.
If they miss this next generation, like, I don't know, man. It just seems like a huge miss. But yeah, congratulations to Ironwood. Is it Ironwood Studios, right?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, congratulations, Ironwood Studios. You made a sweet game. A game so sweet that we want it to be on Nintendo Switch. So congratulations. You've won the Shacknews Award for the game that should be on Nintendo Switch of the year 2024.